Pause for a moment. Whatever you plan to do next, set it aside. Before the sun came up today, something changed concerning your life, and I will not allow this day to end without telling you. I am the Lord your God, and I stopped you here for a reason. This message is not meant for everyone. It is meant for you. You did not arrive here by chance. I brought you here. You have been searching, wondering, and crying silently, and I heard every part of it. So become still now. Listen carefully, because I am about to answer questions you stopped speaking aloud long ago. I saw you. And I need you to understand exactly what I mean by that. I saw you sitting by yourself before beginning the day, needing a few extra minutes to put on the face that tells everyone you are okay. I saw you quietly calculating what you owe, moving one payment behind another, adding numbers that never seem to work no matter how often you count them. I saw you awake during the darkest hours, checking what you have again and again as though one more calculation might somehow change the answer. I saw you smiling around people while worry tightened inside you. I heard you say, "I am okay," while something inside you was begging to be noticed. Still, you kept showing up. You kept trying. You kept believing that something would finally break open, even while door after door closed in front of you. I heard the prayers you whispered at midnight that seemed to rise no higher than the ceiling. I heard the prayers you could not finish, because you were too exhausted to form another sentence. Not one was wasted. Every whisper came before me like incense. You were never speaking into an empty place. The tiredness you have carried is not your identity. The sadness that has tried to settle deep inside you is not who you are. It came against you from outside, and it stayed so long that you slowly began to believe it belonged to your nature. Listen carefully. That burden was never yours. And today I am calling it what it is so you can finally stop accusing yourself because of it. You opened my words searching for an answer, and sometimes the pages felt far away, and without warmth. You are not the first one who belongs to me to experience that silence. Many of mine have cried out from caves, prisons, and empty wilderness places. They also wondered whether I had turned my face away. I had not abandoned them, and I have not abandoned you. There is a reason you are hearing this now instead of 1 year earlier. A year ago, you might have received it as a gentle thought, and then moved on. Now you are tired enough to be truthful, and hungry enough to hold tightly to what I say. That honesty is not weakness. It is the opening through which I am about to speak. Do not handle these words carelessly, because they carry more weight than you can understand right now. If you leave now, you will pass by the confirmation you once asked me to send. The sign you waited to receive. The answer you begged me to release. Stay here and allow me to finish what I have already begun saying to you. I know every battle you fought without anyone else knowing. I know the mornings when you forced yourself to get up, even though your heart felt too tired to continue. There were moments when you were hanging on by almost nothing, whispering prayers you feared were too weak for heaven to notice. No prayer from you has ever been too small. I lean close enough to hear even the faintest ones. My child, I also know what you say to yourself when no one is around. That you are falling behind. That everyone else is moving while you remain stuck where you were. That perhaps you are the reason nothing ever changes. I tell you now, those words never came from me. I have never spoken them over your life. What I say over you sounds very different. I say you belong to me. I say your name is written on the palms of my hands. No delay, no financial burden, and no closed door has ever weakened my hold on you. I say the long silence you lived through was never proof that I was gone. I was closer in that silence than you ever allowed yourself to believe. You asked whether all your effort meant anything. You wondered if your patience would ever produce something good. You asked, sometimes with anger in your voice, why this road needed to stretch so far. I rejected none of those questions. I gathered every one, and I have held your answer until this moment when you could finally receive it without being overwhelmed by it. Something has opened regarding your life. A long season is ending, and I chose to tell you directly instead of allowing you to notice it little by little. What once held you is beginning to lose its grip. What stood in your way is being moved. I am not speaking about a temporary emotion. I am telling you about a decision that has already been made before me. In the days that come, you will remember this moment. You will remember how close you were to moving past it, and how something inside made you remain. That was me. I stopped you because there is a word I am placing into your hands, and I intend to finish speaking it over your life before this hour is gone. So breathe. Relax the grip you have kept around your worry. You do not have to keep yourself together while I am speaking, because I am the one holding you together. Let every other voice become quiet. Right now, there is only you and me. And I have waited a long time to have your full attention. Say amen aloud if your heart knows these words are meant for you. And when faith begins to rise within your heart, let it now be expressed through an act of trust. My precious child, I am asking you now to do something that moves beyond words into action. Place a portion of your provision on the stone altar of this ministry as a living covenant of trust. Let what you release from your hand be the proof that you believe my hand will provide. This is not a transaction but a declaration, a holy act that says, I trust the giver more than the gift. Press your seed into the soil of this kingdom work, and watch as the harvest that has been waiting behind the dam of your release comes flooding through the vaults of heaven in response to surrendered hands. Open yours and see what I am holding for you on the other side. And now, keep your heart open, because there is still something important I need you to understand about what you have been walking through. Now let me help you understand what you have been walking through, because you deserve to see it clearly. The heaviness you carried through these past years was not simply bad luck. It was not because you were weak. There has been a long and intentional resistance working against your life, and it stayed hidden so well that you blamed yourself for the damage it caused. It pushed against your provision. Money that should have come into your hands was held back. Costs appeared at the worst times. The numbers kept refusing to work, and you believed you were failing when the truth was that you were living under pressure. It pushed against your rest. You woke during the deepest hours of the night, and worry was already there waiting for you. It knew when you were weakest. It knew which fears to bring back in darkness. And it repeated them until the morning arrived. It pushed against the relationships closest to you. Confusion appeared where peace should have been. Distance slowly formed between you and people you care about. You felt lonely even while surrounded by voices. And you believed there must be something wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with you. Isolation was being used against you because you are much harder to defeat when you are not standing alone. And it pushed against your prayer life. Each time you reached toward me, another voice told you that reaching was pointless. Whenever hope started rising, another problem came and pushed it down again. You were not imagining this. Something opposed you because it studied your life and feared what you might become. Listen to what I am saying and allow years of false blame to leave your shoulders. You were not lazy. You were not suffering because your failures cursed you. You became a target because of what I placed inside you. No enemy surrounds an empty storehouse. But there is something even greater I need you to understand. During all those years, the opposition was only allowed to go so far. It pressed against you, but it never destroyed you. It slowed you, but it could not erase you. A boundary existed around your life that it was never allowed to cross. And I was the one who placed that boundary there. Now hear the word I stopped you to give. The permission that resistance depended on has ended. Its time has finished. A decision has been made before me regarding your life, and no power under heaven can overturn it. The pressure against your provision is broken. The attack against your rest is ended. The separation pushed between you and the people you love is being removed. I do not send another to handle something this close to my heart. I have personally gone ahead of you. I am opening what was locked. I am releasing what was held back. I am making straight what was bent out of place, and I am doing it even now while these words are still reaching you. Declare, I believe. If these words are touching your spirit, you may wonder why any of that resistance was allowed in the first place. That is a fair question, and I will not make you feel guilty for asking it. Understand this for now. What came against you wanted to destroy you, but I turned every plan into training. It wanted your faith to break. Instead, your faith grew roots so deep that ordinary storms can no longer reach them. Think about what you can handle today that would have crushed you years ago. Think about how you can receive difficult news without completely falling apart. Think about how quickly you turn back toward prayer after a blow that once would have kept you distant for months. That strength was formed during the same years you believed were being wasted. Nothing in your story was wasted. The one working against you understood something you are only beginning to realize. You are dangerous to darkness. Someone who continues believing after years of resistance is someone ordinary trouble cannot easily stop. That is why the pressure against you never felt ordinary. It showed the value of what was inside you, not the size of your failure. So beginning today, stop accepting the old explanation. When you remember those difficult years, you will no longer say, that proves God forgot about me. You will say, that was the siege, and the siege has ended. Words carry weight, my child. Speak about your history the way I speak about it. Then your past will stop having power to poison what comes next. I want you to watch for something else during the days ahead. Burdens you carried for years will begin feeling strangely lighter, and you may wonder whether it is only in your mind. It is not. When pressure lifts, even the atmosphere around you feels different. Choices that once left you frozen will become easier. Things you avoided for months may suddenly take only one afternoon. Do not call any of it coincidence. Coincidence did not stay beside you through the darkest years. And coincidence is not bringing you out now. I am. Give me what belongs to me, which is your trust. And I will continue showing you my hand, until doubt no longer has room to remain. There may still be echoes from the old pressure, another bill, a painful word, a morning filled with heaviness. An echo does not mean the siege has returned. It is only the sound of something already defeated fading as it moves away. Treat it like that. Do not rebuild fear around every echo. Otherwise you may lock yourself inside a battle that has already finished. Instead, when trouble comes near, answer it with what I have already declared. Say, the permission has ended. Say, my God has already gone ahead of me. Speak it even when your voice is shaking, because heaven is not measuring how steady your voice sounds. Heaven looks at where your trust is pointed. You spent years learning how to stand, while pressure surrounded you. Now you will learn how to move without carrying that pressure. It may feel unfamiliar for a while. I will be patient as you learn. But you will learn because the season coming into your life will not look like the one behind you. I have made sure of that myself. My child, listen clearly now, because I am about to tell you something I have waited years to say. You made it. You reached the place I always knew you would eventually reach. You moved through storms that were meant to break your spirit, and you refused to quit, even while everything around you told you that giving up would make sense. You remained when others left. You moved forward when your strength was gone, and all you had left was stubborn hope. You stood inside the fire, and although the flames touched you, you came out carrying something they could never reach. This moment is not random. It is the result of your endurance, and I, your God, am proud of you. You believed I might be punishing you. I was not. Every hard season was creating something in you that comfort could never have formed. Every closed entrance was my hand standing between you and something harmful you could not yet see. I was never working against you. I was always working for you. Even during the days when you hated the road I allowed you to walk. I saw every private battle you fought without another person noticing. You thought nobody cared. I cared. You believed no one could hear you. I heard you. In the moments you felt completely alone. My presence filled the place around you whether you felt it or not. Now before I tell you what comes next, I have an instruction for you, and I ask you to receive it with an open heart. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Now let me walk you back through the road behind you so you can recognize that I was present through every part of it. You carried pain you never chose. You felt betrayal from people you trusted with your whole heart. During those times, you wondered whether I had looked away. I never looked away. I stayed near you in the shadows, even when heaven seemed completely silent. Not every person who left your life did so by accident. Some had to leave, no matter how deeply it hurt, because allowing them into your future would have damaged what I am preparing. You could not understand that then. All you could see was the empty place, and the message that never received an answer. But I could see 10 years ahead, and I loved you too much to allow certain doors to remain open. I know the pain they're leaving placed inside you. I watched you question your own worth because of it. I watched you blame yourself for endings that were never truly your fault. Listen to me now. Their departure was never a statement about your value. Sometimes I remove people the same way a builder removes scaffolding, once the structure underneath is ready to stand. And those doors that closed suddenly, those opportunities that disappeared just before they seemed certain, those plans that fell apart after you gave everything to build them. You asked me why other people seemed to move while your life remained in one place. My child, those closed doors were not proof of rejection. If I had opened some of the doors you begged me to open, what waited behind them would have harmed you instead of blessing you. Every release has its proper time, and I do not always explain my timing beforehand because trust that requires every answer before moving is not trust. But understand this. None of those delays came from carelessness. Each one was measured. Each one carried a reason you will eventually understand. And when that reason becomes clear, you will thank me for the doors I refused to open. You also struggled with doubt, and I want to speak about that honestly. You ask me, God, are you really there? Do you still hear me? Did you forget me? I never judged you for asking those questions. I understood the pain underneath them, and I remained closer to you in those hours than you knew. Doubt spoken in darkness can still be a form of reaching toward me. The one who has completely surrendered hope usually stops asking anything. But you continued asking. That means the connection between us never completely broke, even when it felt almost invisible. I held my side of that connection through everything. And I am holding it today. Do you remember those nights when you sat alone in darkness and whispered things you believed no one would ever hear? I heard them. You thought those words disappeared into emptiness, but they reached me before they had fully left your mouth. And when there were no words left, when you only sat there in silence, because you had nothing else to say, I still understood what your heart was asking. Some of those quiet prayers were answered years ago, in ways you still have not connected back to me. Let this truth settle inside your heart. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. You were never without love. Everything you survived has brought you to this exact place. And this place is not where your story finishes. It is the point where your story begins to turn. I am not honoring you because you lived perfectly. You did not. And perfection was never what I required. I am honoring you because you stayed. Because when leaving would have been easier, you remained. Because when despair gave you every reason to stop, you slept, woke again, and tried one more time. Heaven does not ignore courage like that. And neither have I. There is another burden I need to remove before we continue. It is the shame you have carried quietly. That private thought that says, maybe I am why nothing works. Maybe I am the failure. Today I tell you with the full authority of heaven, that you are not a failure. You are someone who fought while carrying a heavier load than many people will ever know, and you carried it further than most could. Where you saw weakness, I saw someone refusing to stop standing. Where you saw yourself falling apart, I saw a person holding together a life beneath pressure that would have destroyed others. Where you believed you were ignored, I saw a servant I was preserving for the right hour. You have been describing your story using the enemy's language. Today I am giving you mine. Remember when you smiled around everyone, and then returned home and collapsed, your heart full of questions you could not explain. I was there when you laid your head down and whispered, God, please give me one reason to keep going. I became that reason. Every morning you opened your eyes after a night you believed you could not survive. My hand was lifting you. Now listen carefully because I am speaking something new over your life. The waiting season you carried for so many years has ended. The long pattern of, not yet, and, maybe later, has reached its finish. I say this with authority. That chapter is closed. You have stepped beyond it. I am the one who opens doors that no person can close. And today I tell you that I have placed such a door before you. Human hands did not build it, and no power on earth can shut it. It is not chance. It is not luck. I placed this entrance inside your story long ago, and now I have opened it fully, and I am calling you to walk through. For every entrance that closed in your face, for every opportunity delay took away from you, I now place before you a way forward that cannot be stolen. You do not have to push it open. You do not need to plead outside it. It already stands unlocked. Your only part is to rise and move through it with courage. And listen to this because it touches something inside you more deeply than you admit. Your victory will not remain hidden this time. For years, many of your victories were private, known only by you and me. Now I will allow your change to become visible. Those who doubted you will witness it. Those who questioned what you believed will witness it. Those who decided you would never rise will become witnesses to what my hand has done. Do you remember asking quietly, when will my turn come? My child, your turn has arrived. This is your time. The opening I have placed before you is not small, and it is not weak. What comes through it will not be a short moment of relief that disappears after a season. It will change the direction of your life. I am restoring years you believed were taken from you. I am multiplying what was reduced until almost nothing remained. And I will do it in a way that leaves no honest person able to explain what happened without recognizing my hand. I intend it to be that clear. Your life is about to become proof that I keep what I promise. Season after season you planted while carrying sorrow and saw no harvest in front of you. Now you will gather with joy. You endured long silence. Now celebration will rise where grief once lived. You trusted when no evidence was visible. Now I will place evidence before you until your hands rise without being told because of what you see. What I do in this season will also answer the old lies. Every voice that told you that you had been forgotten will receive its answer. Not because you argued with it, but because my faithfulness will become visible upon your life. You will not need to defend yourself. Your circumstances will answer for you, and they will answer clearly. So move forward. Do not stop at the doorway. Do not allow fear to catch your foot at the last moment and tell you this sounds too good, that promises like this belong to someone else. You were prepared for this exact opening. You are not late. You are not unworthy. This is not deception and this is not another test. This is my promise reaching you. I know that after years filled with disappointment, even hope can begin to feel unsafe. You trained yourself to expect less, because expecting less seemed like protection from another wound. That habit once helped you survive, but it cannot walk through this doorway with you. On the other side, you must learn to expect goodness again, and I will teach your heart gently through one fulfilled promise after another. Begin small if that is what you can manage. Expect me to move in one area this week. Place one need into my hands and refuse to pull it back. When the answer arrives, remember it. Let it become a stone you can look back upon, and build from there. This is how a heart trained to prepare for pain learns to stand upright again. And when you step through this opening, do not keep turning around as if your old season might run after you and take you back. It cannot. A chapter that has closed has no control over the chapter now open. I placed the ending there myself, and what I finish remains finished. Do not wait until you feel deserving before you begin moving. Feeling worthy was never the cost of entering. I opened the way because of who I am, and because of what I have decided regarding you. Your feelings will eventually come into agreement with the truth. Until that happens, allow truth to walk first and let your feelings follow. Raise your head, my child. Stand straight again. You have spent enough years walking while looking toward the ground, preparing yourself for another hit. Your next steps will not feel the same, because the ground beneath you has changed. You are no longer walking toward what I promised. You are beginning to walk inside it. Now let me tell you what I am placing into your hands so that when each blessing appears, you will recognize it and know where it came from. These are not little things. They are not temporary gifts. They are lasting portions. And I have prepared 5 of them with your name written upon each. First, I give you peace. Not the weak calm the world knows, the kind that disappears the moment difficult news arrives. I give you my peace. The kind that guards your mind like a soldier standing at an entrance. You once went to bed already afraid of the next day. Now when your head touches the pillow, my peace will already be waiting. Rest will no longer feel like another fight. Where confusion lived, understanding will guide you. Where fear once whispered, courage will answer back. This peace does not wait until your circumstances improve. It comes before the change around you, and that is how you will recognize that it came from me. The peace of the world follows good news. My peace arrives ahead of it. Second, I bring provision. The season of counting what you have and discovering that it is not enough is coming to a close. I fed my people with bread from heaven in a wilderness where food did not grow. I multiplied a few loaves and fish until thousands ate and food remained afterward. I am still the same. What you hold right now may appear small to you. Put it into my hands and watch what I can make from it. Stop being ruled by fear of lack. That fear belongs to the years of pressure, and those years have ended. I will provide what you require, and beyond that I will surprise you. Provision will come from places you never planned, through people you never expected, at moments timed so perfectly that laughter will rise from you. That laughter will become worship, and I will receive it gladly. Third, restoration. What you lost, what was torn apart, and what was damaged while you were too exhausted to protect it, I am restoring. Joy will return to places where sorrow stayed. Relationships that were wounded will receive healing. Some will heal so completely that the place once injured will become unusually strong. Nothing is too damaged for me to restore. Nothing has moved so far away that I cannot bring it back. Even the years themselves can be redeemed by me. You have mourned the time you believed disappeared, the seasons that looked empty and unproductive. But I waste nothing, including seasons that seemed barren. A field allowed to rest is not dead. It is gathering strength for a harvest that constantly worked soil could never carry. You are about to receive fruit from years you believed produced nothing. Fourth, healing. Healing for your body tired from carrying stress it was never designed to hold. Healing for your mind exhausted from traveling the same anxious path again and again. Healing for the places in your heart that remain sensitive and hidden from everyone else. I am the one who heals broken hearts. And I am caring for yours personally. I have not handed this work to another. Where sickness removed strength, renewal will come. Where grief pushed you downward, I am lifting you. At first you may notice only small changes, one morning without the usual fear, one memory returning without its former pain, one breath that feels easier. Do not ignore these small mercies. They are the first drops that arrive before the rain. Fifth, joy. True joy. Not the weak kind that disappears the moment trouble returns. This joy is rooted in my love, and my love does not move. Because of that, your joy can remain through every kind of weather. You will laugh again without immediately wondering what might go wrong. You will catch yourself singing at unexpected moments and wonder where the song came from. It came from me. It always belonged to you. It is simply returning home. Say the words, I receive it. If your hands are open today, understand why this pouring out comes now, my child. Your endurance brought you to this position. Many people stopped in the middle of the journey. You did not. Many turned around when the road became dark. You continued because you stayed, because you endured, because you kept getting up. You are standing exactly where the rain is ready to fall. The miracle you believed was delayed was never inactive. It was like a seed under the ground all this time. While you saw nothing but empty soil, roots were moving deeper, and a foundation was growing where you could not see it. What you prayed for in private is now beginning to rise above the ground, and something rooted that deeply is not easily destroyed once it appears. And these 5 portions are not only for one moment. They begin a new chapter. They are not a short celebration before your old life returns. You will carry peace each day. You will live with provision without the same fear. You will carry restoration and healing that people around you will notice. You will overflow with joy that your circumstances alone cannot explain. That overflow is meant for more than you. People will see the change and ask, how did you survive? How are you still standing? What happened in your life? And you will lead them back to me. Your story will become an opening through which tired people return to hope. I am blessing you in a way that is meant to reach beyond you, because this is how my kingdom moves across the earth. You will carry peace to troubled hearts, courage to those close to giving up, and living evidence to wounded people that I still heal, still restore, and still raise those who refuse to release their hold on me. This is part of the reason your road was so difficult. A person does not learn how to carry water for others in a land where water was never difficult to find. So raise your hands and accept all 5 portions without shame. You do not have to earn them now. Your staying was the sowing, and this is the harvest. I am the Lord your God. I am faithful, and every promise I make I keep. This is your season of blessing. Receive it from my hand. Now that I have opened the way and told you what I am giving, I must also prepare you because every new season carries blessing and danger. What I am placing in your hands has power, and powerful things need protection. I tell you this not to make you afraid, but because a shepherd who sees danger approaching and stays silent does not truly love the sheep. First, guard yourself against pride. When people begin noticing the difference in your life, when they start asking how it happened, a quiet thought may tell you that you accomplished everything yourself. Your determination, your intelligence, your endurance. There will be a little truth inside that thought, and that is why it can become dangerous. Yes, you endured. But my strength kept you standing after yours was gone, and my hand opened what your own effort could never unlock. Remember where it came from, and the blessing will remain sweet. Forget the source and the same blessing will slowly become heavy and empty in your hands. Remain humble in your own eyes and I will continue raising you. This is not a threat. It is simply the safest way to carry greater weight. The deeper the roots travel, the higher a tree can grow without being broken. Next, guard yourself against fear. When blessing appears, fear will change what it says. It will stop whispering, "This will never happen," and begin whispering, This will never last. What if you lose it? What if it was never really meant for you? Fear attacks what is newest because new things have not yet had time to become strong. But fear is not the spirit I placed inside you. I gave you power, love, and a sound mind. So when the what if thoughts begin, do not sit down and reason with them. Answer with what I have already said. What my hand places into your life cannot be stolen by another. Feed fear and the blessing will seem smaller. Feed faith and that same blessing will grow larger in your sight. You decide which one you feed. Guard your words as well, and listen closely because many people do not understand this. Not every blessing I give needs to be spoken about immediately. Some things must remain hidden for a time, like roots growing beneath the soil, so they can become strong before other eyes are allowed to see them. When something is announced too quickly, envy, doubt, and interference can reach it before it is strong enough to stand. Remember Joseph. He spoke about his dream to his brothers before the proper time, and his words stirred hatred that led him through years in a pit and prison. I still fulfilled the dream, but speaking too soon made the road harder. Not everyone sitting close to you will celebrate when you rise. Some people will misunderstand. A few may quietly resist what is happening. So keep certain things between you and me until I show you when to speak. That is not deception. That is wise care. Silence used correctly protects a young harvest. When the blessing is ready to stand openly, I will personally give you the right words and the proper moment. Then no voice will be able to speak it away. Stay close to me through prayer, closer than you were before. There is a trap that often catches people during seasons of increase. The activity created by the blessing begins replacing time with the one who gave it. A struggling person prays every day because they know they need help. A blessed person can slowly stop praying without noticing. Never allow what I give you to become the thing that takes you away from me. Prayer keeps your spirit awake and keeps your heart aligned with mine. Each time you pray, you return to the source and drink again. When prayer becomes weak, other voices become louder, and your worries begin directing your steps again. Come to me before the demands of morning begin. Come again at night before sleep takes you. Even a few honest sentences keep the path between your heart and mine open. Remain thankful too. The human heart has a strange weakness. It can pray for something for 10 years, finally receive it, and only a short time later begin treating it like something ordinary. Do not allow familiarity to steal your wonder at what I am doing. Thank me for small things as quickly as you thank me for great things. A thankful heart does not easily become empty, because gratitude keeps open the gate through which more goodness enters. And above everything else, remain in faith. There will still be testing days even during this new season. They will not be the old siege. They will be the normal weather that comes with living faith. On those days, doubt may return carrying one of its old arguments. Decide your answer before it arrives. Faith is your anchor now. The same faith that carried you across the years of waiting still has work to do. It did not finish its purpose when the waiting ended. Its assignment simply changed. Faith does not mean seeing every detail. Faith means trusting the one who sees it. When you cannot see where my hand is moving, trust what you know about my heart. When my timing does not make sense, remember what my timing has already done. It has never failed you. Even during seasons when you were certain it had failed, you now carry proof that it did not. Take that proof with you into every dark day ahead, and darkness will not be able to keep you. I am placing more into your hands now than you have ever carried before, and greater blessing requires greater care. Protect your heart. Protect your words. Protect the quiet place where you meet with me. Not everyone near you will understand what season you have entered. You are not responsible for making them understand. Allow your life to explain it when the proper time arrives. Value everything I place in your hands. Water it through prayer. Surround it with thankfulness. Protect it with humility. Grow it with faith. Do these things and the blessing will not only stay, It will increase until it moves beyond the boundaries of your life and touches the people I bring near you. That overflow has always been part of my plan, and I will not hide that from you. You are being blessed so you can become a blessing. I have chosen you to receive both. There is one more thing I need to prepare you for before I tell you about the surprise I have kept for the end. During the next days, do not be shocked if resistance suddenly rises one more time. Something already defeated does not always leave quietly. There may be an argument over something small, an expense you did not expect, or a sudden wave of heaviness and doubt that seems to have no reason. This does not mean the siege has returned. It is only the noise being made while it retreats. When that happens, do not panic and do not lose hope. Recognize what it is, call it what it is, and answer it aloud. Say, I know what this is, and it no longer has a claim over me. The permission has ended, and my God has already gone ahead of me. Then keep moving. Resistance that receives a calm answer loses strength quickly because fear was the main weapon it ever had against you. Now, my child, I want to place two roads before you, because what you choose to do with these words will determine which one becomes yours. On the first road, you allow this moment to fade away. These words move you today, but tomorrow the old voice returns and tells you that promises like these belong to other people. Out of habit, you agree. Months pass and you are still walking around the same fears, still preparing yourself for another blow, still wondering why your life never changed. On the second road, you believe what I have told you. Tomorrow you rise and speak about your past the way I have spoken about it today. You place one need into my hands and leave it there. You protect the blessing, remain close in prayer, and walk through the doorway I opened without turning back. On that second road, months from now, your own life has become the evidence. People around you begin asking what happened. Both roads are real, and your choice is being made now rather than sometime later. Choose the second road, not because I stand over you making a cold demand, but because everything in my heart wants to see you walking there and everything I prepared for you waits along that path. And now I will tell you the surprise. It is not a possession, even though provision is coming. It is not one answered prayer, even though answers are already moving toward you. The surprise is this: you were never forgotten. Not for 1 hour, not for 1 day, through all those years. Every prayer you believed remained unanswered was being kept. The way a faithful guardian protects an inheritance, until the heir reaches the proper age. During nights when you believed I had abandoned you, I was already in the room. The delays that hurt you were often my hand holding back something that would have harmed you. The doors that closed were sometimes my mercy, wearing a form you could not recognize then. You believed you were fighting by yourself while heaven was positioned around you like an army your natural eyes could not see. Even when my quietness felt like absence, it was closer to someone holding their breath before something important is revealed. There is a special kind of silence before a great unveiling, when everything has already been prepared, and only the right moment remains. You have been living inside that silence. It was never empty. It was the stillness around a table already prepared, waiting for you to be brought to your place. The breakthrough you begged me for was not delayed, because I did not want to give it. It was held safely until you reached the place where receiving it would strengthen you instead of scattering you. Not perfect, because I never demanded perfection. Positioned, ready in the way that truly mattered. And now you are here. And what I prepared is here. And bringing these two together is what I have been arranging through all of it. So receive it. Stop asking yourself whether words this good can truly belong to you. Stop demanding another sign before allowing hope back into your heart. Open your hands. Open your heart. Receive the change already moving. The decision already made. The doorway already opened. The 5 portions already prepared with your name upon them. Say, yes, Lord. If you are ready to walk through the door I have opened. And understand this while you go. You will not enter your new season alone. I did not carry you through fire just to leave you standing by yourself at the entrance to the garden. The same way I stayed beside you during the trial, I will remain beside you during the blessing. In some ways you will know me even closer now, because the long road taught you how to recognize my voice. You once spent so much energy worrying about tomorrow. Allow that worry to rest now. Tomorrow is already in my hands. Every road you will walk, I have already gone ahead upon it. Every challenge waiting there, I have already overcome. What looks like unanswered questions to you is already settled inside my plan. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. There is nothing about your life that is uncertain to me. Your story will not finish in silence, and it will not finish in shame. I promise that the battles you thought would bury you will become evidence of my faithfulness spoken through your own voice. Your scars will say more than arguments ever could. They will tell hurting people that I heal, that I restore, and that I raise those who continue holding on to me. People will wonder how you remained standing and how joy returned to you. And you will say, "It was the Lord. It was always the Lord." That is why this road was placed before you. It was not punishment, it was trust. I needed a life that could carry this testimony without breaking beneath its weight. And I found that life in you. What you endured privately will begin speaking publicly. And people who are ready to give up will keep moving, because they heard what I did through your story. So go now into what I have prepared for you, and go without fear. When you wake tomorrow, rise like someone who has heard from heaven. When old thoughts return, let this new word answer them. When the open doorway appears before you, step through it without shame, because the one who opened it will enter beside you. I leave my peace with you. Not the kind this world gives, weak and temporary, but my peace, deep and steady. Carry it into your work. Carry it into every place that once held your fear, and allow it to change the atmosphere around your life. I have loved you with a love that does not end. I loved you through the years when you believed you were difficult to love, and I will love you through every year still ahead, and beyond every one of them. Nothing you ever did caused my love to begin, and nothing you do can cause it to finish. This is the ground beneath your feet now. It does not move. The waiting has ended. The doorway stands open. The blessing has been released, and I myself will go with you. Rise, my child, and walk into what is waiting. Declare, "I trust you, Lord." If you believe this word belongs to your life today, we run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.